And we welcome you to another edition of This is Wrestling, but it's on This is OSN. We're live at Sleeper Sage. It is Zach McGibbon. It's Saturday afternoon at 1:23 in the afternoon. Zach, are you recovered from last night's This is Overtime Red Blacks post-game show where the Red Blacks fell to 0-8? Went deep into the night last night to almost 1:30 in the morning. How you feeling today?
You know what? I'm actually doing pretty all right for today. Not too bad. I think it helps with those games when they go deeper into the night that it is a weekend. Don't have to worry about, coming in the next day for work this time around. So you know what? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right for a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get to sleep. I had another coffee. You could tell I was fired up last night. I was fired up.
Yeah, as we were discussing, it's like, man, Lee's really engaged here. I'm trying to keep up. Sometimes, when somebody's like super energetic and you're like, yeah, I'm trying my best to keep up. So it was something, but it was a fun. The game itself, if you're a Red Blacks fan, it's not fun to have to endure an 0-8 start to the season. But in terms of the actual post-game show last night, thought it was fun and had a great time, reading chat. And I think we had a good crowd out as well last night as well. So
yeah, we did. And so today it's going to be one of those hybrid days. It's the weekend. It's Saturday afternoon. Is this a wrestling show? Yeah, a little bit with AEW Dynamite. Maybe even a little bit from SmackDown last night with Kevin Owens and CM Punk. I thought that was really interesting. But are we going to talk some football? Yes. Are we going to talk some music? Yes. There's a lot of stories to kind of recap the week, where we're going, what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to this. Before we get into wrestling, a little bit about the week that was, Zach. And Zach, not all of us had the opportunity to see Axl Rose / Guns N' Roses in Toronto, Public Enemy performing. How did you end up going to this concert?
it's a question that I also asked myself when I got the tickets. This was something that kind of came together pretty quickly. So literally it was just came into work the other day and you get the email out to everybody. Hey, we got a pair of Guns N' Roses tickets to Toronto for next Wednesday. This was the week before. And apparently what happened was, so they had given away the tickets on our rock station that's I'm part of. And the winners weren't able to go to the concert as it turned out. So they gave back the tickets to the station, said, here, just give it to somebody in the station or whatever, and they can have a fun time at Guns N' Roses because we're not going to be able to go. So all of a sudden you get an email that pops in that says, hey, 2 free Guns N' Roses tickets are available. Put your name in and we're going to do a draw, and whoever wins the draw is going to go to the Guns N' Roses concert in Toronto.
How many people were in this draw?
I thought there would be a lot of people in this draw, Lee, but shockingly, there was 3 people, including myself, in this draw. Stunned.
People just don't want to stop what they're doing and go see Guns N' Roses on a Wednesday night in Toronto if you live in Belleville. Too much, too soon.
I guess. I was very surprised about that. So I was like, well, I guess I got a chance here. I was more just kind of putting my name in to try and be like, throwing my name into the hat, see what happens.
Sounds like Steiner math.
You get a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, Lee, and I'm not normal. So the others had a 25% at best at beating me.
Obviously.
then you had my boss was one of the people that was in there. So then you add my boss into the mix. Chances of winning drastic go down. All right, hand raised.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
Your boss was in the draw.
Yes.
Who's your boss, Zach?
My boss is, in this case, was the news director of Quinny Broadcasting.
So would the news director feel good of Quinny Broadcasting about winning this draw and then beating out one of his hardworking employees? So they weren't in the draw, were they? Like for real?
All I know is that the name was there and I won. That's all I that's all I know.
Don't ask how, just ask if. So what?
Yeah.
Go train down, and you went. It was at the Rogers Arena, Downsview, correct?
Yes, the Rogers Stadium at Downsview. Yes.
Sorry, whatever.
It's
There's a
outdoor stadium.
There's you know what? I'm not saying the name anymore. There's a million stadiums named that.
I know.
don't
With
really
the
care.
Rogers naming as well. So,
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't really care. The one at Downsview.
yes.
Okay. I haven't been. You hear all kinds of, in the world we live in, you hear all kinds of crap about the travel to get there. And then wouldn't you know it, Zach, in the last 2 or 3 months, I'm seeing all these different Instagram reels and posts about how easy it is to get to Downsview. And it's just so nice to be able to come down and it's like, okay, cool. They paid a bunch of influencers to try to change the narrative about going there. So what is the real story about going to Downsview on a Wednesday night to see GNR?
A little rough. It's a little bit rough.
Okay.
So for us, so I went with a buddy of mine and we went to the Oshawa GO station. That was pretty clean, just getting into Union. No problem there. Then we had to take the train to Downsview.
The subway.
And well, there is a GO train that takes you to Downsview.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, there is. So it wasn't necessarily the GO train element itself. It was more once you arrive at the station at the GO train station at Downsview, because you're not actually right at the stadium there, Lee. There's still quite a walk to go before you even enter into the stadium. So so it took the GO train from Oshawa to Union and then from Union to Downsview. And it was a pretty lengthy walk. I want to say maybe like 15 to 20 minute walk over to the stadium. So it was pretty lengthy. There's a little bit of a incline as well to get there. There was a lot of people with us. Like that was a packed GO train, a lot of Guns N' Roses fans making their way to the building. But it was a bit of a walk. It was all outdoors. And so getting there was a little bit lengthy. The stadium itself, as I told some other people, because were 3 main questions, and we'll get to all of them here about it. But one of them was, how is the stadium? Because it's still kind of brand new. And out of all the venues I've been to, Lever Stage, it's certainly one of them. It's not, didn't blow me away. There was the way, so I was set up on the left side of the stadium. And
yeah, like, by the way, I know it's where you work. I was going to say, could you not have got better tickets to give away? Like, where the hell were these seats? Like, far away, it looked like.
Yeah, we were the left side, and it didn't show in the photos that I shared, but it was right over top of the entryway to get to the seats. So there was also like a railing in front of us as well. So it was so those were the tickets we got. It was free. I'm not going to complain. I'm like, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I'm here. And so I'm going to be diplomatic employee and say that this is how it went. But in terms of stadium layout itself, if I was somebody that did get tickets and bought it and went there,
you work in radio, so you don't pay for anything. But
exactly.
Yeah, but if you did,
if I did, I'm thinking about, like, when we talk about pro wrestling, the casual fan. How would the casual fan kind of look at this? You have your main stage.
The marks that pay for their tickets. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't say that. Lee said that.
The plebeians that just not quite up to your level to get free tickets. But yeah, okay, go ahead.
So there's 4 screens that you could see. And then there's another screen. I didn't even realize this. That's behind on the stage, but you couldn't see this. You could barely see it. Thinking back to it now, this screen that's behind the performers. And I only realized that they were putting stuff up because I was scrolling through Instagram, and it's amazing how it just listens to us now, right? Because
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm getting reels from people that were there, and I'm being reminded of all the performances there. And I'm like, oh, they had all this stuff behind the screen that they put up. And so I'll now open the floor to the media. Lever Sage OSN.
Thank you. Just so people know, on social media, when you say it's amazing how it listens to us, you can turn that off. Just so you know. But Rich, who's with us today, says, got to watch Grand Slam Mexico. I heard it was amazing. We are going to review that because it was bleeping amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
what a show.
It was unbelievable. So we're going to get to that, Rich. Again, hybrid show here. Some music, some sports, some wrestling. But Rich says it's a stream duck, which is like your stream, and it's just feeding into it all the time. Zach, turn it off. There's one button. You can turn it off.
They have it. It's very smart of these companies. They always have it deep in the settings. I know it's one button, but you also have to go through 3 different pages to find that one button
to get there, for sure.
Yeah. They don't make it easy, like entering into the stadium. But the stadium itself, again, it was open air, outdoors. Again, it was one of the venues I've been to of all time. It was not something that blew me away. It was they had a lot of different food selections there and the different stations, but in terms of the overall experience, and I'll tell you my story of how I left later, because I will talk about the actual concert itself, because that in itself was a trek worse than getting to the stadium. But in terms of like getting to the stadium and the stadium environment itself, it was all right. It wasn't great.
Okay, so I mean, you laid out your own story. Well, there were 3 main questions. Like, I didn't know there were 3 questions, but okay, I guess there's 3 questions about the Rogers Downsview Arena and your experience at Guns N' Roses and Public Enemy.
Yep.
So what are the other questions that you've laid out for yourself to answer, which is an incredible job by you as a host, laying out your own questions so you don't have to talk to me. Incredible.
It's what we do, Lee. So the other question that I had received a lot of was, how is Axl Rose's voice? Because if you had gone on to some of the Instagram reels, if you're really deep into the scene, Axl Rose's voice, you hear some of the clips that have come out. It's not Axl Rose of 1987, that's for sure. I've been seeing comparisons to Mickey Mouse in terms of the vocal stylings of Axl Rose in 2026, which is not a great comp to have because he's very high pitched now when he sings. I will say this live, I was kind of expecting some of that, and there were definitely moments during the concert where he had more of the high pitch. I was like, oh, this is kind of rough for him to get through this song. But overall, I thought he was all right. I actually thought he was pretty all right.
Like, yeah, dude's 64 years old.
Yep.
So,
and that style of singing that he did, I mean, is already putting enough strain on his voice as it is. So that's probably why he has to adapt it. Like, I totally get it. But at the same time, you know, concert tickets aren't exactly cheap nowadays. And you want to try and get, you know, everything that you can from a live concert experience.
Yeah, but most of the people who are going, and I appreciate that you went, most of the people that are going, it's a nostalgic thing, right? Like to see, like Guns N' Roses were so big for so long in the 80s and the 90s that you would go just to like relive your youth. For me, I would not be expecting them to be the same. And I would know that because I would be a person, Zach, that would have to pay for a ticket. So I would have to come to that realization that for me, yeah, it's going to be whatever it is, 100, 150, 200 bucks. But is it going to be worth it to relive some of my nostalgia? Not to think that Axl Rose at 64 years old and living the life that he has is going to be what he was at 30.
Right.
So as a guy, again, who would have to pay for my tickets, unlike you, I would have to decide that beforehand, whether that was worth it. I guess not for you, though.
Look at what are you trying to do? What are you
I'm
trying
not.
to pay me as here?
I'm just telling you, you're a not 30 years old. You're
Yeah,
getting free tickets,
yeah.
and now all of a sudden the judgment day has come down on Axel and Slash.
Well, no, I'm just answering the questions I feel like people were
Okay.
asking me. So that was a big one. That was the one I got a lot of. How is Axel's voice? I got a lot of that. And again, I knew about it kind of coming in, but again, like I thought he was all right. It was good.
You got the and again, and again,
and again,
because
I'm trying to reinforce it here, you know. So
the elite wrestling guy,
you know, and
you know,
again,
and again. See,
I
I
was-
like that.
There you go.
Rich is also in. First of all, I went to see our favorite DJ a few months ago, Martin Garrix in Toronto. I thought it was going to be at that stadium, was super anxious about it, but it turned out it was at the RBC Amphitheater, which is absolutely amazing venue. I can't wait to go back to that venue, which I don't disagree with.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
And then Rich says, my father-in-law and my wife's first dance at our wedding was Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So now I have questions.
Mm.
Okay. What's their slowest song, Zach? Like the most famous slow song that they have?
That would probably be November Rain there, Mr. Versage.
Oh, see? You know what?
Or
You've outdone me again. I thought it was going to be Patience. So that was the
Patience
first
is
one.
another one, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, why are you dancing to Patience? Like something like you're going to have a lot of patience with this guy. So like father-in-law and the wife's first dance and the father-in-law is going, yeah, you're going to have to have a lot of patience with this guy. I'm like, is that the right song? But was it November Rain? That makes, oh, and of course, Sweet Child of Mine.
That's right. There you go.
It
Sweet
doesn't
Child of Mine.
seem like one of those slow, Sweet Child of Mine, but the song and the words, okay.
Yeah, I get it. So yeah, it was no, I had all that said, Lee, I had a great time. I had a real fun time.
Okay. Public Enemy?
Public Enemy, I really enjoyed. I am a rap guy, so I was like, I was surprised. Was like, okay, well, who's the opener of this concert? Oh, it's Public Enemy at the Guns N' Roses concert. That's not who I would have had in mind to be opening the show, but I wasn't complaining about it. And yeah, it was Chuck D and Flava Flav did a great job opening the show. I wish, I know it's the opener, so you know not everybody's coming in to see Public Enemy, but I thought they did a really good job. Flava Flav just was hilarious. He's just without swearing too much, he was like, I want to hear you mother bleepers, you know, get up loud, and we're in Toronto, and all the transitions of the song. And
No, we're in Toronto and everyone's
that's where we live. That's where we live. He took his shirt off and he's like, I got this sweaty mother bleeping shirt and I'm gonna throw it in this mother bleeping crowd. And he was fired up. I was like, oh my God.
Well, 67 and 66 years old.
Yes.
Flavor Flav and Chuck D. Like, oh my God.
And they got the crowd that was there for the opener, including myself, pretty hyped up. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of not to get too political, but there was a lot of anti-Donald Trump stuff in their set as well. And so that got them fired up. And
I'm just trying to picture you again. You're 28.
Yep.
Loving 67-year-old rappers, like really enjoying their show.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
They were great. Now, a buddy of mine who's the same age as me was not familiar with Public Enemy, and he liked them, but he's like, man, they do dance like they're from the late 80s to the early 90s, the way that they were like, you know, it's so there was a little bit of that. But yeah, no, I was, you know, singing along to Fight the Power and all that. So it was good. The opener was good. And then Guns N' Roses themselves, it was a long set. It went from 8:15 to right to 11 o'clock. And they got a lot of songs in the catalog through and some covers. You're not going to believe this, Lee, but they did open with Welcome to the Jungle as their opening song. So
does make a little sense.
I totally get it. So, but yeah, they did open with Welcome to the Jungle. They had an interesting collection of songs. Like all the ones you would expect them to hear, but they had some covers I wasn't expecting. Like I don't know how much of a Velvet Revolver guy you are, but
What wasn't one of them in it?
yeah, I for a time, but like they covered Slither, uh, and I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting them to play Slither here, and then
Yeah, Slash was in.
yeah, Slash was in Velvet Revolver.
Well,
That's right.
Okay, you can't say wasn't expecting, and Duff too.
Yep.
They were both in Velvet Revolver.
And
but-
they so they did that.
Hold on a second. You were surprised that they played a song from a band that two of the members from Guns N' Roses were in. You're like, oh my God, they're doing a Velvet Revolver song. Two of the guys were in it. What do you mean you're surprised?
I just wasn't expecting it. That's all.
Why not?
Well, look, did I expect as to blow the lead here? Did I expect Chris Stapleton to come on and play guitar on Knocking on Heaven's Door? I did not expect that.
He's not in the band. Yes, like when I found out, I'm surprised they played a Velvet Revolver song. I'm like, two of the guys and the main guys, Duff and Slash, are in Velvet Revolver. Oh my God.
I don't know. I just like they had that as a cover. They also played Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which I believe they played during Ozzy's final concert when all the bands came over for that show. I believe that was the song they had played over there. They played it here as well. This was one of the times I noticed Axl's voice is a little rough here, because especially when they were getting into the main verse. But that was cool to kind of get an Ozzy tribute. And
so
yeah,
did they play? I'm trying to think of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs of all time. For me, it would be like Civil War is right at the top.
Yep, they did play that.
Did they play Estranged?
Yes, they did.
That's a long song.
It was yes, they did play Estranged.
Oh, I love Estranged.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they play all their kind of big hits.
Mm-hmm.
They
had a new song that they played that I had no idea about, so okay. I was just kind of listening along, and hearing it. It's another one of their slower songs. That was one of their newer hits or newer songs that they played. But yeah, they went through a lot of the discography.
Did they play Patience?
Yes, they did play Patience.
Okay.
There was and to answer the third question that I had set up in my well laid out setup for this Guns N' Roses review.
23 minutes in, yeah.
Yep. Well, we're trying to guide the conversation here. Slash, incredible. Slash was awesome. Oh, I mean, shockingly, Lee, one of the greatest guitarists of all time was awesome to hear live. He still can very much play the guitar. You'd be shocked to hear that. No, he had some extended guitar solos that he was just really I forget which song, but there was one they were doing the outro, and then Slash was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play Voodoo Child during the outro. And so I'm like, are we transitioning into a Jimi Hendrix song here? And then he's like, no, he just played the opening chords to Voodoo Child and went right back into the guitar solo to end off the song. It was unreal. It was like, okay, this is awesome. This is great. There was an extended one that literally went like 8 minutes, and he's just like really hanging on to it at the end. And Lee, there's not a lot of stuff that makes me get out of my seat anymore, but the final minute stretch from Slash, just like shredding away, I got up out of my seat, like, yeah, like fist pumping, like, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm here, man. Like, this is great. Yeah, it was a good time. Had a real fun time. And you're not going to believe this either, but the person beside me was not familiar with Guns N' Roses.
Oh no.
Which shocked me. He was like, I heard about him. I'm like, you haven't heard Welcome to the Jungle? Like, that's a song that's everywhere. It's like, he's like, maybe I have, but like, it's not in the
What?
rotation or whatnot. I was stunned, Lee. I
How old
was
is this
stunned.
person?
Same age as me.
Never heard Welcome to the Jungle.
Nope.
Never heard Sweet Child of Mine.
Nope. Paradise City.
Okay.
It
Wow.
was, but I will say though, he came away a fan because he looked at me, he was like, dude, that was incredible. Like, he just looked at me like, whoa.
You think?
Yes. He was blown away. He was blown away. I'm like, yeah, there's a very well-known rock band, to say the least, you know, doing world tours. And like, you look around the building, it's a 50,000 seat venue at the building. And it wasn't full, but it was like 45 to 48,000. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it was pretty full. So yeah, no, it was great. A lot of different songs, as mentioned earlier. Chris Stapleton came on as well, and it was just so casual how they introduced him too. It was hilarious.
This one pisses me off. Like, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
Chris Stapleton is one of my favorite guys ever. Like, I love GNR. I loved them as a kid. I think I've told you my story before. I don't want to repeat myself, but like, of how I came to have the albums. Have I told you that story?
I don't think so.
No? Well, if I have, if you can't remember, then maybe the listeners don't remember.
Right.
I'll try and do this quickly. I loved Guns N' Roses, and so did everybody. So we're in high school, and Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 are just coming out. At that time, you had to go to the mall. You had to go to Sam the Record Man or Music World in the mall to get the cassette.
But before you continue on, you said Sam the Record Man.
Yeah.
Belleville still has the last Sam the Record Man in all of Canada.
Come on.
Yes. It's in the Quincy Mall, Lee. You should come on down.
I've been in the Quincy Mall.
Yeah.
Wow, it's the last one?
It's the last one in all of Canada. There was a story I remember because the owner sold, and there was talk of it being sold and being shut down, but the new owners are keeping the Sam the Record Man insignia and all that. So yeah, it's the last one in all of Canada as far as we know, unless there's some sort of remote location, as far like, you know how there's like the one last Blockbuster in Alaska or something like that. Like, I unless there's something like that, but I'm pretty confident we have the only Sam the Record Man in all of Canada. But anyways, just when you said that, I'm like, oh, I should probably get this. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it was right at the beginning of school, and you can imagine like a 16-year-old Versage high school, 1991. The Use Your Illusion albums are coming out. It's September, like the first couple of weeks of school. Everyone is going to skip school to try to get to the mall to get these albums. So a bunch of us do. I didn't care. Like, I'm going to get in trouble, but whatever.
Right.
Well, we go to the mall, sold out. Now we've skipped school and we don't have the albums.
Oh,
So not exactly a win. But what happened the next day? Teachers very, very worried that we're going to do this again until we get the albums. So a bunch of teachers get together and they're like, who's got first period spares? Go to the mall. Buy as many albums as you can.
oh boy.
I bought Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 off Miss Kerhulis, my biology teacher in grade 10.
Incredible.
Because I don't care whether they made a profit. They probably did. Good for them. They deserve it. They went to the mall. They bought as many albums, and then they had to probably pick and choose between the students who they were going to sell them to because they were going to run out too.
Right.
But I got mine. And Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. I remember getting them and going home and just listening to the cassettes over and over again, because where did I buy them? Off my grade 10 biology teacher,
That's awesome.
right?
That's
Like-
so good.
Never happened today because the teachers wouldn't be allowed to, and then they'd be making profits, and then the stories would get out.
Right.
Like, just
Yeah,
wouldn't
and then people like me in the news be like, what are you doing? Why are you selling this to the
teachers make
kids?"
extra money profits off
Yeah.
poor kids,
Right.
and all they did was want my albums.
Just wanted Illusion 1 and 2.
That's right. So,
But you were mad about Chris Stapleton showing
yeah,
up.
because Chris Stapleton is one of my absolute favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Went to see him in Ottawa. They canceled their show. Got to see him when he came back the following year. It was amazing, but I've only seen him once. One of my absolute favorites. If I hadn't seen Chris Stapleton yet, it would be like maybe number one on my list. Like that's how much I like Chris Stapleton.
Mm.
But I love GNR.
Yeah.
What? Chris Stapleton came out with Guns N' Roses and Zach was there? Are you bleeping kidding me?
Rage boiling in Mr. Versage.
Yeah, I was not happy seeing that. And then, which I think is super cool. The best part to me is that the next night, not realizing that Chris Stapleton, was playing in Toronto the next night at the same.
I didn't know that either. So when Chris Stapleton showed up, I was like, "What? He's here?" And I was like, "That's when they," because it was funny. It was just so casual. It's like Axl was just like, I got a buddy of mine here that's gonna hop on this song. You might know him. His name's Chris Stapleton." And there was a big pop from the crowd. It's like, and my buddy beside me is like, knows who Chris Stapleton is. Like, Chris Stapleton is playing. Like, whoa, this is so cool.
Well, of course, he lives in Belleville, right? Your buddy?
Kingston.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically the country nowhere. Everyone knows Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, that's awesome because then GNR came out. I don't know how many, like at least Slash did for sure, for Stapleton's concert the next night.
Yep. Yeah, I saw those clips. That was cool that they were able to do that. It was funny though, during the middle of the performance, Axl went over to Stapleton to say something in the middle of the performance. So I don't know if it was just like, this is what we're going to do and get this part, but Stapleton did a great job. I'm a fan of Chris Stapleton as well. And of course, for me, like my first exposure to Chris Stapleton was actually the Super Bowl when he did the national anthem. And I was like, wow, this guy just absolutely, like, it's still one of my favorite performances of the anthem when he played it. And I was like, wow, I gotta listen to this guy. And I've enjoyed Stapleton ever since then.
I picked up on Stapleton fairly early, and I went down to Florida. My uncle is like very, very heavily into music.
Yeah.
But when someone's that heavily into music, like I'm into music, like a lot of people, but I'm not to his level.
Mm-hmm.
And I go down and you're like, you got to listen to this guy. Like he's going to be your favorite guy if you just take a listen to him. And of course, you think you know music. Why would I ever listen to like somebody that you say, because you're going to tell me he's good. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to hate him.
Right.
So like, I'm down there and he won't listen to him. I'm like, okay, but just keep it in the back of your mind. Like 2 weeks later, calls me. He's like, yeah, this guy's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Like, I'm in.
Yeah. It took me a bit, but
yeah.
Okay. So out of 10, this concert is a what?
I would say like a 7.58. It was fun. I had a good time.
Okay.
I had a really good time.
Leaving
was a nightmare. It was.
Oh, excellent.
It's a work in progress in terms of leaving, because now I will say I think some of this is partially our fault as well, which you will appreciate. But
big man to admit that some of this might be your fault. Feels like most of it now is going to be your fault.
Well, as I try to explain it. So we're leaving, and so we left a little bit. The final song was Paradise City. So left a little bit before that because it's like, oh, got to make sure we get back on the train and so that we could get there, because we got to get to the Oshawa station. And so we went and we were going to the gates, and we were initially going to go back to the gate we came because that's where the GO train was. But we were looking across and it looked like it was all blocked off. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's not where we're supposed to go to get to this station. But I guess as I look back on the situation, it had opened up a different gate further away. So we went down the closest gate. We went to the other side of the back of the where you exit. And so we just started walking. It's already a lengthy walk. And when then we see this path coming across, I'm like, oh, okay, this is where you cut across. Like this part is where the drop off zone is, and this part is where you go to the GO train. Okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't have had it all funneled in one area. I feel like that could be disastrous, but that's what I was thinking. So we start coming across. We notice, hey, there's a lot of people going one way and very few going the other way to this GO train area. And 2 security guards stop us as we're coming across. And they said, no, like you're not allowed to come down this part of like this part of the exit because it's considered re-entry is what they said. And I'm like, but we're leaving. Like we just need to go to the GO train station right over there. Like that's all we need to do, get back on the track here. And they said, no, this is, you can't go through here. This is a one way. You have to go. And I'm like, okay, so how do I get back to the GO train area? Like, because that's where we need to go. He said, Lee, it was the worst option. It was, you have to do the whole loop around, past the drop off to the road, sidewalk, get to the other side of the GO train station, which is already people going out the other way. So it's like we're going back into the sea of people that are trying to leave. And then that's how you could get onto the train that takes it back to Union Station. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This is brutal.
So there's 2 things here. Number one, I'm very surprised so far that we haven't heard. But do you know who I am?
I'm not that sort of guy.
The security guard.
I work at Quinny Broadcasting, damn it.
That's right.
Pound the desk. I got free tickets to this.
And number 2, more to your point, I feel like this stadium has been in the news for the wrong reasons, for how long the walk is, how long it takes people to get there from the station, all of this stuff. We've heard this before. If it were me, and it wasn't, Zach, because I paid for my tickets, so I...
Man of the people over there is like, oh, I pay for my tickets, and I'm speaking for the people here. All right.
States only in name. With all of the hoopla around the stadium, Zach, I might have endeavored to figure out how I was going to leave before I actually had to leave. I might have done that. Just to like, hey, you know what? It's already going to be a long walk. Let's just make sure we know where we're going when we leave, which, by the way, you've taken away the crux of the story now, too. We left before Paradise City was over. Yeah. Why the hell are you going to see Guns N' Roses if you're not going to stay for Paradise City? Come on.
Look, clock's a ticking, Lee. It's getting close to 11. I thought it would be a little shorter set, but I was like, clock's a ticking. We got to get to the train. It didn't work out either way.
Right.
Anyways, so, but that's more because we thought we had to go one path. Like, again, I did have the strategy of just go back to where you came, because I feel like that's where everybody's being guided through. There's a whole pathway that's set up for this.
Yeah, you're telling people that you thought you knew.
Yes.
And never checked into it and didn't know. That's the moral of the story.
So,
right? Yes.
So that's where I feel like this is me coming in and saying, I feel like maybe I'm partially responsible in some ways.
Well, take out the words maybe and partially. That's how everyone else is leaving. Why aren't you leaving that way?
I'm just saying. I thought that was a way to go. It didn't. And we looked across like, okay, we'll go down this path.
So what time did you get home?
I got back at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yep, bang on. So yeah, we got there. We got to the final train that was leaving the GO station, to Union Station. And then I was telling my buddy, it's like, as soon as we get there, we're gonna head down to the concourse and we're gonna look at where the platform is for the Oshawa train, and we're just gonna immediately get onto that platform and then just go in, right? And in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe it'll go a little bit longer. Like they'll wait a little bit because they know there's a big concert. But I had read stories in the past of like, trains leaving while people were still leaving from Jays games and all this stuff. So I didn't want to take any chances. But my buddy is not the most experienced when it comes to the GTA.
Right.
And so I'm like, just follow me. We'll get down to the concourse. We'll find the platform. We'll come in and blah, blah, blah. So sure enough, we get off the train immediately. We go to the first stairwell and I come in, go to the concourse, look at the screen, and the said delayed by 10 minutes, right? I'm like, okay, we got time. This is fine. Still going to suck in terms of time getting back home, but at least we're going to get on this train, right? I look across over. It's like, okay, it's not too bad. And I look and my buddy is not there. And I'm like, and I looked across and I was like, maybe he's walked off somewhere to a different screen. He's not in the concourse, Lee. And so I'm trying to call him and I forget his phone has died. So now I'm like, oh God, what are we?
Come on.
So,
you can't
fortunately,
you can't be leaving anywhere if your phone dies. Like
I know.
Stick with that's not good on him.
No. So fortunately, so we get onto the get up into the platform. And fortunately, he got on the right platform. He was just on the other side of the trains. And so we see each other and it's like on each side of the tracks. So it's like, okay, well, at least we're not going to risk it into Oshawa and just be like, hopefully he's there, So
right.
We were able to reconnect, but it was a little bit of an experience coming out. I might have sent the fact Trevor a couple of, I don't like this city, but much stronger terms.
Yep.
To him. And then, but we got back to Oshawa. Drive back was good. And got back into Belleville around 3 a.m. So, not my favorite exit of a building of events I've ever done. Story to tell as well for the future, but overall, like just from a concert perspective, like the actual concert itself, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
I'm glad I went. I was coming in with some things about it could be this, could be that, but boy, like my biggest takeaway is Slash was so awesome. Like some of the guitar solos were just unreal. And they had good performances out there. Yeah, Public Enemy was very good. Really like Guns N' Roses, and it was really great to see. It was really great to see all the people out as well. So it was a fun time. Had a good time.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
So here's the funny part, Lee.
Zach, I feel like what's coming right now that we can all sense, is something to the effect of this is your first concert.
First big stage concert, yes.
Okay. Oh, all right. You know what?
Yeah.
You live in Belleville. Your first big stage concert.
Yeah.
So what's the drop off? Like, what's next on the? Yes, I've seen a concert, but it's like
probably in the hundreds, I would say.
Like at the gym at the public school down the street, or like what? What's the drop off here?
No, there's a concert hall in Toronto. I went to. It's a rap group that I went to go see. This is a couple of years ago now, so bear with me. But
so your history with concerts is not vast.
No, it was not. It was supposed to be the first like big concert outdoor stuff. It was supposed to be many years ago before COVID. the Rage Against the Machine, when Rage Against the Machine showed up for Blues Fest. But then of course it got postponed because of COVID. And then I eventually had to sell off some of the tickets because by the time it was eventually going to happen, that's when I was moving to Belleville. I was like, I could use some money to help with the move. So yes.
Okay. That's not your fault. Not your fault.
Yeah. I am the opposite of my brother, who's a big time concert goer, goes to a lot of concerts.
So you were born in the year what?
1997.
97.
Yeah.
5 years previous to that, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Faith No More at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto after the Dome had opened September 13th, 1992. I was there. And it was not long after a bunch of people in Montreal threw stuff at Axl Rose.
Yeah,
And
I was just going to say was that concert before, I imagine was before the Montreal concert where things kind of went.
No, it was like a month after.
Oh, after. Okay.
So you wondered exactly what was going to go on. Again, no internet.
Yeah.
At that time. I have to remind people of that. Like, no internet. So you only really knew stuff that you saw on TV and maybe heard on the radio. But I remember being at that concert going, this is like, I'm a teenager. I'm like, this is incredible.
Right.
Just incredible. And it went to the wee hours of the morning. I saw Guns N' Roses play at the Cops Coliseum in Hamilton, where they exchanged, like they took a break in the middle of the show. And then they came back from a break. Like it wasn't an encore. It was just, yeah, we're going to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then came back, but they put couches and they did this full acoustic set of, like 7, 8 songs at Cops Coliseum in Toronto. So I've seen Guns N' Roses a few times. So I'm happy that you're venturing into this world. I don't know that stadium to me would be, oh man, like your first big outdoor concert, like the RBC amphitheater, the one that's down at Ontario Place. It used to be called Budweiser Gardens. I think that's the RBC amphitheater right now, right?
I think so, yeah.
Incredible venue.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about that venue.
I saw Stapleton there as well.
Nice.
When he first was making his tour. It was awesome. So that's a great venue to go outside and see. And I'm going to date you even further here, but you have a little bit of history, which I appreciate. So back in the day, before they had any of the theaters, outdoor amphitheaters in Toronto, all the bands came to Kingswood Music Theater at Canada's Wonderland. And if you had a season's pass at Canada's Wonderland, you got into concerts for free.
Okay.
Right? So you're thinking, okay, like, cool. I'm sure it's a lot of money, but if you're going to go to all the concerts, great. We're in like end of public school, going into high school. Like that, it was around that time, like late 80s. Seasons pass, Canada's Wonderland. So you get to go on all the rides all the time. You can stay for as long as you want, and you get to go to the concerts. $29.99.
Wow, for the season pass?
That's right.
Whoa.
So smartly, we lived about half an hour, depending on traffic, like half an hour, 40 minutes maybe. But a whole bunch of the parents got together and we're like, okay, we're going to divvy up the rides. And this, instead of sending all of our kids to camps, this is what we're going to do. Someone's going to drop them off in the morning and someone's going to pick them up at night. And they're just going to go and be at Canada's Wonderland all day. And I remember getting a little personal here, but I remember it was like grade 7, big crush on a girl, big crush. And the girl's part of a we're there in a big group.
Yep.
And the girl says to me, I'm going to stay for the concert tonight. And my parents are going to pick me up afterwards because I really want to stay for the concert. Do you want to stay with me? I'm like, yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely, I do. By the way, who's playing tonight? The answer, Zach, the answer is Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany. Let's go.
Headlining with a group playing before them that nobody really knows. So, look, I'm there. I've said yes. The rest of the group's gone home. Like, I'm staying. The group beforehand, I don't remember the concert. I don't remember anything about them. I do remember that they had back in the day these rugby shirts. Benetton came out with these rugby shirts that said Benetton across.
Yep.
And they were all different colors you could buy. They're white with like green or red or yellow or whatever. So go up and all the guys on stage have different colored Benetton shirts. And they're opening for Tiffany. And the only thing I remember, I'm doing a hand motion now.
Yeah.
But the only thing I remember is this, like waving my hand over my head and back. Oh, hanging tough.
Oh, there you go.
The New Kids on the Block.
Wow.
Opening for
Tiffany. That's
And
not something you would think of nowadays.
no. They were
Look, I think we're alone now as much as the next guy, but that's not
you
mentoring.
want to talk about thinking that you're alone now?
Yeah.
Be at this concert. Well, all your friends have gone home and
Oh,
you're with the girl, but she's there for the concert and you're there for her, and New Kids on the Block and Tiffany are playing.
yeah.
But I say that like that summer, I mean, I was into the hair bands. I still love me some 80s hair bands.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, the Poisons, the Warrants, Cinderella, White Lion, Slaughter. I love Slaughter.
Yeah.
But it goes on and on and on, right? Firehouse, some of these bands, and they all came, all of them. And I got to see so many concerts at Kingswood Music Theater as part of my $30, but $30 at the time was especially for a kid, that was a lot.
Yep.
So it would be like, okay, well, you're gonna do the chores once a week all summer. And again, the deals were made to be able to get the season's pass, right?
Right.
Imagine that though, $30. $30 for the summer, and you get to see all the concerts.
That's a great deal. I'd be hopping on that right away.
Well, I think that, sometimes they don't give our parents credit, but they had the right idea.
Yeah.
We're just going to drop these kids off. I'm sure they'll be safe. Something happens to them. There's a group there. There's security there. Like, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
And they'll be exhausted when they come home 12 hours later. Right. We loved it.
Yeah.
We loved it. Man, I think of all the concerts, like so many good ones. One of my favorites of all time was the concert hall that is no longer there at Young and Bloor in Toronto. I saw the Tragically Hip days after Road Apples came out.
Oh, okay.
And they were just starting to be really popular. Like, I mean, the concert hall was not very big, no air conditioning, sweatbox galore.
Yeah.
And man, what an absolute crazy good concert that was. But now the older you get, I'm glad you're getting into your stadium stage of life. But the older you get, now I want the more intimate venues when I go to concerts.
Yeah.
I want the band that I want to see, but I don't want to see them with 45,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. Like I went to a Joey Valence and Bray, which is just a rap group that I like, and that was at the concert hall, and I think it was the Danforth.
Yep.
And this was a couple of years ago. This was around that time. I was like, oh, I really like this group, and they've started to get more into the mainstreamish. They're still on the edge, but they're starting to get a little bit more notice. And it was just nice to like, I'll be in this like little intimate concert venue, and just you don't really realize just how much those intimate concert venues could be until you go to something like a Guns N' Roses at a big 50,000 seat stadium, because then you're like, whoa, like you start to, it really kind of puts it into perspective, right? So but yeah, no, that was an interesting experience. It was a good time. I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I was able to win the tickets to be able to go. Was not something I thought I was going to be doing the week
Yep.
before.
What
So
time did you work the next day?
I worked at 9 a.m. the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple of times in the past few weeks, Zach McGibbon with a very, very late start and then having to go to work the next day.
Yep.
I'm still recovering from getting home at 3:15 in the morning.
I was going to say, how's that recovery going?
Probably asleep by 4 a.m., up at 6:15 to do a very physical job.
Ugh.
Like, yeah, I'm still trying to recover.
Yeah.
From that. So speaking of concerts, this might be a whole show and we'll like stop the show and then come back and start about AEW or something. I'm not sure.
Yes, we'll see.
Or maybe it'll just be into one, or Zach will cut it up and into segments. I don't know.
We'll see.
Speaking of concerts, probably the number one person on my list right now that I have not seen previously, the Zach Brown Band.
Mhm.
Love Zach Brown. Kind of country, but kind of like people think they're really country. They're really not. I call them islandy.
Okay.
They're more country, but Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
But Zach Brown's been in some very, very high profile spots. He sang the anthem at some major, major sporting events, and they played the Sphere in Vegas. I think people would know. They're not my absolute favorite songs that they sing, but people would know Chicken Fried. They would know Toes in the Water, Ass in the Sand. They're a bit sing-along-y, but they have some really, really good kind of deep stuff.
Mhm.
As of Wednesday night, I am on holidays, which is exciting for listeners and viewers of OSN who get to see Zach McGibbon host some Red Blacks football. And I'm going to come back. I already know I'm going to miss 2 games, and I'm going to come back and they're going to be 2-8.
Yeah.
and Zach's going to be, look,
You know what, Lee? I don't think we need you anymore.
No,
I think
like,
this is
we've made an executive decision. The Red Blacks have called us, and we agree that you need to watch from the outside.
yes. We might allow you in the chat. We might allow you to get some comments in the chat, but that might be the extent.
It might be the extent of it. I'm willing to hear that if they're 2-8. If they go into Winnipeg and into Montreal and win both of those games when they haven't won a game all season, I'm willing to hear that argument.
Yeah.
When I come back. However, as of Wednesday night, I'm on holidays and most likely gonna venture. I would like people to reach out if they have some ideas, but Zach Brown Band is playing in Pittsburgh on the Thursday night. And for Zach Brown, last week they played at Fenway, and they had, I think it was like their 13th or 15th straight sellout at Fenway. And what did they do, Zach? They gave every single, I know I'm calling you Zach and seeing the Zach Brown Band, I get it.
Yep.
But what did they do? They gave every single person who attended that concert a cruise on like the Margaritaville. They're involved in the cruise line, Zach Brown band, but kind of with Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville Cruise Lines. They gave every single person a cruise that went to the concert. Estimated value $40 million. Why can't I have gone to that one? And now I want to go to the one in Pittsburgh. Imagine going to a concert though, and it's like Oprah, and you win a cruise, and you win a cruise, and you win a cruise.
Everybody gets a cruise. You'll be like Tom Cruise jumping up on the couch to stay on the Oprah references.
You know what? The way that you tied Tom Cruise into the cruise stuff, like it's just, folks, that's why he is a professional.
It works on so many levels.
It's well done because people are picturing it. Then I'm talking about a cruise and Oprah giveaways, and it all just ties in together.
Can't exit concert venues to save my life, apparently, but I can come up with things, that connects with what we're talking about on our live show.
You're very punny.
Yes. For better or for worse.
So that's a distinct possibility for me on Thursday. Haven't got tickets yet, but there are tickets available.
Yep.
When you're buying for one, it's not that hard. There are singles available. Not looking for 6 in the same spot.
Right.
So that's a possibility at the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
A lot of plosives there.
Yeah. Been to Steeltown a couple of times. I love it there. It is one of the more underrated cities you're ever going to go to.
I always hear so many good things about Pittsburgh. Like there's the reputation to be like a hard city because of the, but
Blue
it's
collar, Steeltown.
But every time people go there, it's like, no, it's a fantastic city.
Again, if you're in Ottawa right now and you picture what the city looks like, they pretty much have, I mean, Three Rivers Stadium used to be the stadium, right? But they do have the Three Rivers that interconnect in Pittsburgh. And so imagine in Ottawa where the Museum of Civilization is across the water in Gatineau. But right there, like you cross the bridge, it's there. That's where the baseball stadium is. And it looks back out over the city. So where the Pirates play is where the Museum of Civilization is. And on game days, they close the bridges and you can only walk over. And there's a whole bunch of bars and restaurants. And you go to the game and you sit in the crowd and you look back across the city landscape. And you're like, this is pretty good. And then you go even downtown. Man, it was such a cool city. I loved it being there. I was there for the NHL draft and was there early when the ballpark kind of first opened. And Heinz Field's kind of in the same parking lot or whatever they call Heinz Field now.
Yeah. I was going to say, I will still be calling it Heinz Field from here on out.
Yeah, I don't know what they call it, but the football stadium, and man, just a beautiful city. So people would argue like in December and January, is it so beautiful? Well, is Ottawa beautiful in January and February? I don't know.
Winter's always tough, but no, I always hear good things about Pittsburgh. It's like what you mentioned, just the way that it's laid out and some of the different ways that they have the whether it be Heinz Field or, as I searched it up, Acrisure Stadium.
What?
That's according to me typing in Heinz Field, Acrisure.
Yeah, I believe you. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know either. So I will just, for the sake of simplicity, call it Heinz Field. But the baseball stadium there too. Like I always hear just now, unfortunately, the Pirates play there, but the actual baseball stadium itself, like, is really nice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, I'm of course joking. It's just more, but it's just kind of unfortunate the state of the team itself. But the stadium's really nice.
but the town is great, and
Yeah.
I found the people great. One of the things that they have a franchise of, it's like we have Tim Hortons in Canada, but in Pittsburgh they have Primanti Brothers. And if you look up Primanti Brothers, yeah, here we go. If you look up Primanti Brothers and kind of what they are,
Mhm.
it's basically that they make like unbelievable, like kind of sub sandwiches, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But their feature is that they basically put fries in all of their sandwiches,
Ooh, all right.
right? And they're big in Pennsylvania. I know they're outside of Pennsylvania a little bit, but man, Zach, if you've had a Primanti Brothers sandwich and it's vintage and like they sell them at the ballpark and everything else, but if you go to Primanti Brothers,
That's the place to be. I'm searching some of the I've seen some of the photos of these sandwiches and they look awesome.
like it's
totally
just,
something I would buy.
and so worth it. You're like, can it be really that good? You're like, yeah. So I'll be getting me a Primanti Brothers sandwich if I go there.
There you go.
And then I'm kind of open for business. I am going to go down to my uncle's in Florida, but I'm open for business, Zach. And this is where I need your help.
All right.
I'm going to give you a couple of options. And like the pro that you are, you're going to keep talking as I leave here for a sec. But
okay, yeah.
On the trip, it's like I want to spend time with family. And if I go, I'm going to drive. The option is flying in, is you can't get direct. So it's going to be very hard to get direct. So it's going to be an all day thing by the time you like do layovers and rent a car and go there. So you're basically one day on each side of traveling. Or if you go down, you're probably at least 2 days on each side of traveling. So you're giving up a couple of days that you're actually there visiting and like spending time with them and going to the beach and relaxing.
Right.
But you get to do things. You get to go see Zach Brown. Or on the way back, I've never seen a NASCAR race. I love NASCAR. I know other people don't. They love Formula One. They love other.
Yep.
But that's fine. I like that you like racing. I really enjoy NASCAR. I've never seen a NASCAR race. On the way back next, I guess it'll be 2 weeks today, NASCAR in Richmond, Virginia. They almost always race on Sundays, which makes it difficult. But this is a Saturday night, 7:00 race.
Ooh, okay.
And Richmond, Virginia, on the way home, is directly on the route home. Like you actually have to pass through Richmond, Virginia on I-95 to get home. And it's within 15 or 20 minutes, it's like legit the halfway mark. 12 hours basically on each side. 11 and a half maybe, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And Richmond's almost directly in the middle of that. So it'd be like 11 hours, 11 and a half hours in the car, go to the race Saturday night, grab a hotel, get up another 11 and a half hours home the next day. So there is a lot of traveling in this. I'll leave it with you for a second.
Okay.
What do you do? Do you go to the Zach Brown band in Pittsburgh, drive down the rest, which would be like a 15-hour drive from there the next day, which means you're going to be awfully tired once you get there.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, my holidays, it's Wednesday night. And then it's maybe you get there like late Friday night and you're absolutely exhausted. And then on the way home, you're leaving a day early. You're probably getting up super early on Saturday morning, driving 11 hours to Richmond, going to the NASCAR race, grabbing a hotel, and then getting up and doing 11 hours on the way home. Now, there is another side little thing. I think I told you this before. I'll leave it with you.
Sure.
If you don't go to the NASCAR race, I could possibly get to, by Saturday night, Reading, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour off of the track on the way home, but not too bad.
Yep.
Like 1 hour
Yep.
off. And AEW Collision is live in Reading, Pennsylvania. So we sort of tie this back to wrestling at some point.
Yes. Only an hour 10 in. That's okay.
Yeah. AEW Collision live in Reading that night. And that is right before they all go over to England for All In. And I guess the debate is, yeah, it'd be cool because the venue, I'm sure, is a little smaller. Be fun to see in that sort of environment. But at the same time, how many big stars are going to be there on like the last card on the secondary show before they go to England? Like,
right.
Are you really going to see
Will
Ospreay and Swerve and Hangman and MJF and like, or are you going to see the Dark Order and
I don't disrespect Evil Uno around here.
All right, you're gonna see Jack Perry.
Okay, now we're talking.
Right? You're gonna see
I will say though, I feel like John Moxley will be there because John Moxley's just everywhere. He's just like, that's stop in Reading is okay for me before I go fly. So
the benefit of that is going to a cool wrestling show in an intimate venue and probably seeing some other people that you're not going to be able to see, and then having a shorter drive home, probably like 8-ish hours on Sunday to make it reasonable. And this is all before, as I leave you with all of this.
Okay.
This is all before getting home on like the Sunday late at night, depending on whether it's a 8-hour, 11, 12-hour drive. Maybe you're flying home if you're taking the flying option. And the very next day, it's up at 6 to go to work. And then what's that Monday night? It's a double taping. It is Monday Night Raw. It is SmackDown at CTC. That This Is Wrestling, of course, going to be there.
Yep.
And strap in for like 6 hours of WWE TV that they're going to probably have an hour of wrestling in the 6 hours. So I'll leave you with all of that, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I will film.
It's a lot of info, though, to give you.
I know.
And for people who are listening, and you, I'm open to any other ideas.
Yes.
Like anything's on the table here.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like how you teed it up. Because as you mentioned, there is so much I could really process with this. It's essentially a T-ball game. I'm staring right at the ball and I'm just about to hit it and try and just swing for the fences at this point to try and get something going here. So, I mean, there's a lot to process here because there's also the factor of you have, in the case of Lever Sage, something that's more of a personal interest for him when it comes to NASCAR. It's something that he's never seen a live race before. The timing works out where he can get into Virginia to be able to go see the show. It's going to be a little bit rougher, but this is something that he has always wanted to see, something that he has always wanted to do, and he has the opportunity to do it. Or go to the Collision show, where this would not be the first time he's been to an All Elite Wrestling show. He's been to the shows in Toronto. There was, of course, the Collision that happened in Ottawa a couple of years ago now, which is hard to believe, but you already have that. But you have to think as well of the contribution to the OSN brand in all of this. Of course, we have the wrestling background, so you would be able to get, for the This Is Wrestling audience, the connection between Lee's experience at the show in Pennsylvania for that collision, getting that live experience, knowing how the TV works down there in the States, getting that personal experience. This really is kind of a tough call to make because you also, as he mentioned, has to add into the fact that you've got the double taping coming up, which, as I realize, this is going to be a lengthy night. It's going to be a pretty lengthy night. And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to host a talk show during that week. So I will make sure to bring that up to Lever Sage. But it's such a fascinating dilemma because I think the NASCAR thing, you can get a different angle to everything. It's something different. Sometimes with people different, it's a lot that happens. I'm not so sure, but it's something different that we could hear. I mean, we just had a whole hour here on this show talking about my experience at Guns N' Roses, something different than what we usually talk about. Maybe from a content aspect, you get something different in terms of a NASCAR view, especially from somebody that is very deep into the season of NASCAR. I am not familiar with NASCAR. It would all be a learning experience for me. So I would be all for that, to listen to that. But of course, again, collision, it's a big time collision. It's not just any other collision. This is the collision before they fly over to the United Kingdom to get ready for the upcoming All In show. I imagine there's a Dynamite and Collision that's in there too. Fascinating. Just a fascinating decision. A lot to really kind of process in there. I mean, I think it would be cool to get that idea of what the experience is like going to a NASCAR race and just, the environment, the people there. What do you kind of expect? It's something we always hear about. I don't know how much of our audience and people tuning in, if they wanted to get into the chat as well, give their thoughts about NASCAR, if they are NASCAR guys, or even want to learn more about it. I'm also kind of open to hearing about that. Or if you want to stick with the wrestling side, I think there is that element of being able to learn more about the experience from Collision. And I imagine while you aren't going to get your big names, as Lee mentioned, I'm pretty confident Jon Moxley will be there no matter what. But some of those big stars probably not going to be there. It's such a fascinating dilemma. I mean, I kind of want to know what the NASCAR experience is like. We've had a lot about the in-person experience at Dynamites or Collisions, even before a pay-per-view. It would be a bigger pay-per-view in this case with All In. But I'm kind of fascinated to see what Lee does at a NASCAR race. So for me personally, Lee, as you return, as I, think about it out loud and just trying to break it all down, because while you were gone, I'm like, my brain's also like, what about the content aspect and all this? You get your time off, but what about the listener? I'm trying to think about, you're talking about being man of the people beforehand. It's like, we got to be, men of the people here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think too, you have we just did a whole thing about Guns N' Roses.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be something different for the listener about somebody that went to their first NASCAR race, how that experience is like.
Yep.
So from a content aspect, we've been to a couple of Dynamites and Collisions already, not to brag or anything like that, but it's something that we've done before. It is a little bit different because you already talked about All In, but I would kind of be interested to hear your thoughts on the NASCAR experience, because it's not something we usually hear about on any sort of our programming here at OSN. So that's where I'm kind of leaning to. I know it's going to be a bit of a hike, a bit of a travel, but sometimes opportunities like this, they don't come around very often. And so you have the opportunity to do it, to take advantage of it, I'd say.
So I appreciate the fact that you talked about it out loud to be able to, and people are like, where the hell is Lee?
Yes.
Number one, it is absolutely pouring here. Quite a big, I don't want to say storm, because I don't know how long it's going to last. But it went from being okay outside to absolutely crap pouring outside.
Right.
And all the windows are down in the palatial estates. And I'm like, yeah, there's electronic equipment getting wet.
So you're like, I probably want to make sure that's tended to.
I'm gonna have to go check that, because I'm not gonna be able to sit here for.
So what you're saying is, if the lights went out at the palatial estates, that's what's going on right now, as you were trying to deal with some electrical stuff.
Well, did I have to go to the bathroom? Yep, I did. But could I have made it? Maybe. But with the thought of this like the TVs and
Yeah.
stuff getting, because all the windows are down. Ooh, yeah. Listen for the thunder that might come, because that was a big bolt of lightning that just came.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, we'll see how long we're on the air. So we've decided that from a content point of view, getting on the road. Can you hear that?
I heard that.
Once the big bolt of lightning comes, it's usually what, 20 seconds, or you count how long it is.
Yeah.
There's usually a huge thunder boom right after that. So
I actually felt it in my ear. It was something. It was a pop.
yeah, I don't think we're done either. This is just rolled in. Oh, and by the way, too, quick update. Last night, complaining about my aerated lawn that's been
Yep.
taken over by skunks digging holes in it. We finish up the broadcast 1:30 in the morning. I go to lock the doors. I look outside. There's a skunk, like right there. I banged on the door. It took off. I'm like, don't be aerating my lawn. It's like I just talked about it and it was right there.
Right.
That sucked. So I'm like you. I'm kind of leaning towards this this road trip because it would give some good content.
Yep.
Like being able to update people, like going to see a band you've never seen that you really, really want to see is always an experience.
Yeah. That was also the thing I was mentioning too, was like, we just talked about Guns N' Roses, something different that I think was interesting to try and, venture out on. And I think at least with the NASCAR side, NASCAR better than anybody I know. So it would be interesting as somebody that's never been to it before, like that whole experience and relating it back. So
yeah, like I love NASCAR. I know it very well. I've actually done 2 tours of the Daytona International Speedway.
Oh, there you go.
Which is, for anyone down even close to Daytona, it is so cool, even if you're not a race fan, to see how big, like it's a 2.5 mile track, right?
Yep.
The place is ginormous. And to see some of the things up close when they take you, like it's 2.5 hours and it's like $20.
Right.
And they take you everywhere, like whether it's pit lane or, where the checkered flag is, or they take you on the turns, they take you down everywhere that you need to be. But when they take you on some of the turns and they stop and they get out and they have one of those like medicine balls, like that are softer, but they're like, they hand it to people and they're like, try and get up to the top. And you can't.
Right.
Because it is so steep. It's crazy. And you're like, people are passing doing 200 miles an hour and they're literally sideways. So to be able to see it up close would be like not at Daytona. It would be in Richmond, but still to see it kind of up close. And there is a pull from the fans because they go out, and NASCAR fans are, they're countryish for sure, but they go out and they like to watch the races and drink beer and cheer for their favorite guy. And it's like, I kind of want to see what that's like too.
Right.
Like I want to soak in the environment and see if it's what it's like, what it comes across on TV as. Mm-hmm. And I want to cheer my guy. Ryan Blaney's my guy.
Yep.
So I guess it's the preparation of knowing like that pull between you're never going to get to, not never, but it's like, what are you waiting for? If these are in front of you and you've never done these things, how come you haven't done them yet? And like, how many more chances are you going to get and all that stuff? But there also is it's supposed to be a vacation.
Yeah.
Not, I'm supposed to be exhausted for a week and a half.
Right.
And seeing my family and doing these things. It's supposed to be relaxing.
Yes.
It's
supposed to be the idea of the vacation.
Not the opposite of like, man, I hope I get to Pittsburgh on time and I hope I'm going to tell how much are the tickets. And then, like a 15 hours drive today and I'm going to Gonna get there in 15 hours, long time to be in the car, so I'll be exhausted when I get there. But then I'm here to see my family, yay! But I'm exhausted, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there's a pull there.
Yep.
It's a good debate, though.
Yeah. I will say again, this will be Safety Sam over here. All right. Whichever decision you make, I'm in full support 100% wherever you go.
I knew you would be.
Like if you go to Collision, that is not going to be anything I'm going to be like, oh, I can't believe it. He went to Collision instead of the NASCAR race. It's like, all right, perfect. We'll get some stuff to talk about for This Is Wrestling, you know?
Yeah.
But if you went to the NASCAR race, I think just from a different angle of content and something different, I think it would be something interesting. The travel is definitely something that I would be like, this might be a little bit tough,
Yeah,
but
you have to enjoy the travel, like, and I do enjoy it. Ooh, you can hear
heard a little bit there.
it feels like it's on the cusp of something bigger. I guess I was waiting for the bigger pop.
Yeah.
But you have to enjoy it. There's that fine line between, hey, I'm free. If I want to go to this place, maybe I want to go to this town tonight and stay there. I can. Like, I'm not tied into anything. There's that fine line of, man, the world is my oyster. Or, holy crap, it's 7:00 at night and I have nowhere to stay tonight.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yep.
Like, what am I doing?
Uh,
And then the fine line of the Collision show, it's like, how many times can you see Mascara Dorada and Commander go up against like Tommaso Ciampa and, you know, maybe the big stars, Speedball Bailey, because Hechicero will be there. And here comes Chris Statlander, but like, no, none of the big boys, big girls are there.
Yeah.
The demand would be there for sure.
Yeah. I was joking again. I'm pretty confident John Moxley's just going to be there because it's John Moxley's like, I don't care where I have to go. I'm going to be there. If it's Reading, Pennsylvania, then I'll be there. But, you know.
I know. But it feels like the demand is going to be in the main event no matter what. Like, that's a perfect spot for them.
Well, clearly in demand, Lee, you know, so that's why they're in the main event.
Yeah.